So I'll do some editing. Got my eagles still. I got the guy running. I got that bomb. We saw how we could layer up images. I got that American flag edited in there. And we cut some clips and switched the videos around. Good. Now we're going to see how we can do some transitions. And maybe a little bit of editing. A little bit of animating. With some of the Premiere Pro techniques. I guess I can show different quality level while I'm working, so it may speed things up a little bit. I'm going to quarter quality there. Okay, so I want to do some transitions, some basic transitions between the different stills and clips, starting with that black background image. And we have our project panel here. Underneath the project panel is the effects panel. Also up here, under our source panel, if I click this guy here, actually if I slide this, click this little one here, there should be an effects panel. There it is, an effects control panel. If I ever click on any of these objects out here, I can see there's some default video effects. Motion, we can add some motion, opacity, things like that. I can also find some effects from my effects panel down here and add to them. Well, I want this to fade from black into my image. Instead of such a stark change, I want to go from black into my eagle image. So under here we have video transitions, and I prefer to dissolve ones. There's some cool ones: slide, page peel, wipe, zoom, iris, some cool effects, 3D motions, but most of them are pretty cheesy once you get them up there. So they're like PowerPoint type transitions. They can get pretty cheesy. So I like to stick with the basic ones here that you see in films and things. Dip to black's a good one. I'm going to bring that dip to black into here, and now it'll fade in from black and it'll fade into slowly to that eagle image. Then it goes from the eagle to that guy running. Well, I could do dip to black between them, or I could bring the dip to white. And if I position that between those two tracks, I can zoom in a little bit here on my timeline so I can see what I'm doing more. And I play that, fades in to the eagle, and then it fades to white and comes out with that guy running. The next clip. Now I'm going to fade from the clip from the guy running to that nuclear bomb, and I can do that. There's film dissolve, edited. There's some cool ones here. I'm going to do the cross dissolve in this one. Position it right in the middle so it overlaps both of them. Once again, this may take time to render. May have to play through a couple times to see it correctly. There you go. You can see some of that cross dissolve effect. One image fades into the next. Pretty cool. Now I could come down here, select those transitions, and if I think they're too big, I can make them shorter. If I think they're too long, I can make them longer. And stretch them out so they take longer to take effect. So there is some control over those also. If I want to get rid of it, I can right click or command click and hit clear and get rid of that altogether if I change my mind on that transition. Alright, so those are transitions. And let me do one last one over here. Maybe film dissolve. And let's see what happens on that one. Same type of effect, a little more slower, a little more grainy. Okay, like I said, there's a lot of other transitions you can play with, page peels, slide, page turn. I think those are a little cheesy, but you're welcome to use those if you want. Okay, that's transitions. That's quickly doing animation. Now, whenever I add any of these effects down here, they're also added up here. Okay? So there's a video effects, motion, opacity, things like that that are default, but then any other effects you add, I can do some changes to those up here in the effects control panel. What I'm going to do is just animate this American flag very quickly. You can animate any video, any text, any stills. I'm just going to animate this flag to show you how you can do it. Okay, so I'm on that video track, I click my flag, and up here is the effects. There's a short little timeline here. I can stretch this out to see it better. So I can this is the duration of that flag image is up there, so I can do some changes to that. So I'm going to drag this guy over here, my timeline to the end of that, and then I can open up these different effects. A couple of things I can change the opacity. Say at the beginning I want to be at 0, so that's that first frame. I can activate my opacity and lower it down to 0. I can also open this up here so I can see it better. Lower that down to 0. Let's say shortly into that flag image, I can bring it back up to 100%. So now in a very quick amount of time it goes from 0 to 100%. I can go back towards the end here. Add a keyframe, still at 100%. Add that keyframe to 100%. Then I can go to the end of that image, where that image is, and fade it down to back to 0 if I want. So it fades in and fades out. So I can animate opacity. Pretty cool. Go back to that first frame. I can also animate position or scale. So if I click the position, that activates it, or gives it a keyframe on that first frame. Now if I go halfway in or anywhere else, I can reposition that flag somewhere else. I can even take it off the screen. And then I'm going to go to my last frame of that flag image and bring it back up here. I'm not thinking too much, I'm just showing you some different animations. So you can start an animation off the screen, bring it across the screen, start it off, bring it on, whatever you want to do. So now, let's see what happens here. Fades in, moves across, and comes back up. A little leggy there, it's taking a second to catch up. Alright, it fades out. So you can do some animations with your different objects using the effects control panel. So those are some transitions and some animations. Next we'll do audio.